What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Smoke Rings and Dad Things. I am your host, David. Man. Let's have a cigar and bust a smoke, shall we? So if you've not watched Michael Beasley's podcast episode with Shannon Sharpe, please do yourself a favor and go watch it. I watched his podcast on Pivot a couple years ago. I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago, with Channing or Crowder. I forgot his name is Crowder. Channing Crowder, I remember. Ryan Clark and Fred Taylor. Was awesome then. He gave out, he spilled his heart then. And then this, I think it was like a 45-minute episode on the Pivot, and then him and Shannon sit there for like 2.5 hours. Let me tell you that, man, you gotta watch it. Shout out to Michael Beasley for showing true emotions and showing every man that's ever watched that podcast, that's watched the podcast episode, or anybody that's watched it. It doesn't have to be man, woman, so whoever watched it. If you watched it, you got to thank him, because he shows you raw emotions. He shows you it's okay to cry in front of people on TV. It's amazing. And just shout out to him. I mean, he dropped some hard ass truths during that. Let me tell you, the one on, I don't know if that was on that podcast, but I remember he dropped a quote one time that said, and you've heard me say it once before, I think, and it was, some days I'll wake up Michael Beasley, and some days I don't mind, I can't find him. And I've been there. I think a lot of us have. And after watching him talk and everything he went through, and how nobody would talk to him and stuff, it hits you. It hits you right in the gut, because you've been through it, but you didn't know you went through it. Or if you did know it, you didn't know how to speak about it. And that was his problem. He didn't know, or people were always coming up with something in their mind or their head about him, but it wasn't the truth. And it really got me, man. Like, I recorded this yesterday, but I was grilling out, and I didn't get to finish watching the podcast Saturday, so I finished watching it Sunday, and so I wanted to make sure I watched it all until I watched this. And it's about 2.5 hours long, and man, he's got some lines in there, some one-liners, dude, and it'll get you. It'll hit you, the truths in it. But do yourself a favor and watch it. Do I think Shannon Sharpe was the best person interviewing? Shannon Sharpe's getting better at interviewing. Let me put it that way. But he did the best, and let him tell his story. That was Michael Beasley's story to tell, and so Shannon didn't interrupt him. He let him talk, and it was really good. He dropped the one, God, what did it say? If you see me cry, just pretend you don't see me. But his mom always told him, you can talk about your depression, but don't ever show me what it looks like. So if you ever see me cry, just pretend you don't. And Shannon goes on to ask him, do you ever cry when you're at home by yourself? And he was like, no. He looked at his buddy that came with him. He was like, I cry on the basketball court because I'm sweating and nobody can see me. Nobody notices that. And it's like, man, it gets you, So you just do yourself a favor, watch it. So, yeah, so many good. Man was speaking straight facts, and he didn't really call out anybody. He just tired of how people perceived him, and he wasn't really that person, but everybody just never gave him a chance to talk about it. And talks about his mom dying, his cousin dying, and he was just like, I don't want to miss basketball, but people feel like I'm lying because everybody keeps dying, and he just breaks down. He's real. He was real, and I always liked Michael Beasley. I love one of my players on basketball, 2K basketball. I made him to look like Michael Beasley. Plays like Michael Beasley. So I've always liked Michael Beasley. He just never really got a chance, and I hate that. But yeah, shout out to him, man, for showing us that it's okay to show your emotions in front of everybody and to other people. And the one thing that I hope my friends can say, I do bust my friends' balls all the time. Like, I just, I joke and I laugh and I give you shit. But if they ever came to me, they know I would never dismiss them or not want to talk to them about anything or not listen. That would never be me. I would never not listen. If I felt like it got really bad, and I think I would try to, a small little jab to kind of make you laugh, but it wouldn't be to make fun or anything like that, because I don't want you to be completely like broken and then me not trying to make you laugh, because laughter is like the best medicine. Whether you want to laugh, making you laugh randomly is going to make you feel better. And so it's always been a great thing for me. So if you're watching this and you don't have anybody to talk to, or you feel like, and I've said this many times, and I will say it every single fucking week, every episode, I will always tell you, if you need somebody to talk to, somebody to listen to you, whatever, cry with you, just let me know. I'll never tell nobody, I'll never judge you, I'll never do anything. But it was a real one. Anyways, let's see what's Shane. I do have a surprise. I want to say a surprise. I ordered Kristen. Hopefully she doesn't watch this. I don't think she watches my stuff. So I ordered her a Mother's Day thing. I've seen it. It's a frame, but it's got like glass slides, and I think we'll have the kids paint their hands, so it'll be like Bubs to Anna's. So it'll be like 4. Hopefully there's 4 slides, because that would fucking suck. Hopefully I did read it. But as I was checking out, they had a cigar infuser that you put these glass tubes, and you put like so much alcohol on the bottom of it, whatever you want to put. So I'm probably going to put some Johnny Walker Scotch in there, and then maybe some Elijah Craig. Because let me tell you, I had a fucking delicious banging ass espresso old fashioned week before last. At a drug rep at Jags down in Westchester. It's a really nice steakhouse. If you've never been, go. It's hard to get in. It's fucking busy. It opens up at 5. I get there at 5:50 and the place is packed. I think you have to have a reservation. Luckily, I was a drug rep in there. But they gave me an espresso martini made with Elijah Craig whiskey, and it was phenomenal. And so I bought some brown sugar. I'm going to make my own brown sugar syrup, simple syrup. I'm going to buy me a bottle of Elijah Craig probably this week or weekend. And then the only hardest part is I got to find where to get some espresso. So I don't know if I can go to a coffee shop and just get 2 shots and then make it later, because it needs to be fresh. I guess fresher the better. We'll just say it that way. So I'm going to try it out. Probably can't make it as good. I was also smoked, so it was fantastic. I don't know what they smoked it with, but we'll try it. And I've got the smoking kit at home, so we'll do a couple of them. So yeah, we'll do that. Anything else going on? It's piss pouring the fucking rain. I don't know if we're in this tornado watch. I don't know. I'm about to get on Ryan Hall and see what he talks about. I've already worked out. I was going to do this before I went to the gym, but my buddy Tyler came, messaged me and wanted to talk to me, so I had to do it after. So we did some light chest. We did some incline presses and some cable flies. Nothing hardcore. I usually do a heavy and a light day. And then hopefully I'm going to cut my hair when I get home, because like my mustache, look, I got this weird little, I don't know why these 2 points right here grow longer than everybody else. I don't know. So Gotta figure that bullshit out. And then my sideburns are like, yeah, I look homeless. Well, I'm soaking wet. It's humid as shit in my car. So, grilling's been going fantastic. I'm doing better. I grilled out. What did I grill out this week? I did the potatoes and the ribs last week. I did chicken. So I did 2 different types of flavors of chicken. I did honey garlic, and then I did a poultry perfection rub yesterday. And then I did orange, red, and yellow peppers with onions, sausage, big old thing of butter. Probably put too much butter. Worcestershire sauce, parsley, salt, pepper, and garlic. Let them run. I let them sit for probably like hour and a half ish, hour and 45. I think I did them too long. The peppers were a little bit too done, but it was still pretty good. So I'm gonna eat some of that when I get home. I've got enough tomorrow, a whole thing for tomorrow for lunch, and then I gotta see what the weather looks like, because I've got a ham. I think it's like 7-pound ham, 8-pound ham maybe. I'm gonna try to figure out how to do that. So I might, if it's pre-sliced, I'm going to put some bacon in between it, some brown sugar, and then I'm gonna coat it with some apple juice, pineapple juice, and brown sugar, and do it that way. If it's not pre-sliced, I'm going to take the hams, like, you know, a little spiral ham, and I'm going to like drape the shit over the bacon, and then do it that way. I don't know if we're going to try, but I'm doing pretty good I'm enjoying the whole prep, and it's really, I was going to do that Sunday also, and I was like, it's too hard for me to smoke a cigar, talk to you guys, and try to prep, because I feel like I'm just going to drag it on. And so I didn't want to do that again, because I don't think you guys liked last week, but I mean, I could be wrong. But I just feel like I just really didn't get to talk and do anything, and there wasn't no cooking with David shit. But we'll try it out. Thought that man was going to back into him. But I feel like my headphones just kicked on, because now I can hear everything. It's weird. I don't know. Oh, okay, I think my thing cut it. But yeah, man, it's been a pretty. Last week was pretty rough mentally. That's when watching Michael Beasley kind of like hit home, because I started watching it Saturday. Because let me tell you, Friday I was ready to just drink my fucking life away and not even care if I woke up. Like, last week was probably the roughest day I've had, a week in a long time mentally. And I don't even know why. Could not tell you why. That's the fun thing about it, is you don't know when it's going to kick in. You have no idea when it's going to kick in. And I could just tell, starting like Wednesday, I could just feel it slowly build up, and then like Thursday, and then Friday, I was just like, man, I'm a huge dickhead right now, and I don't mean to be, and I'm trying not to be mean to everybody, and I wasn't mean to anybody, but I could just feel conversations in my head with, like, somebody asked me a question. Oh my God, you can't be that fucking stupid. Like, you done it. I'm just being really mean for no reason, and thankfully I just kind of just shut my mouth. I didn't really talk to anybody as much. You know, I put the smile on, you know, that bullshit. That's what I did. So yeah, Friday I went to go look for the kit for the Elijah Craig kit for the bourbon, not bourbon, but old-fashioned kit, but they didn't have it. I was going to buy a bottle, but then I had to make it, and I was just like, I just do not want to have. By the time I make this, I'm not going to want to drink it, because then I have to wait for the simple syrup to cool down, and I just don't have this time. I just want to get drunk as quick as possible, and so I went to the gas station. I was like, well, I got some scotch at home, and I'll make my own thing, and I didn't even make it then. So I went to go get some ice, because I didn't have any ice, so I just found the Cutwaters, and you've never had a Cutwater, I found them like 2.5 years ago. I think, 3 years ago. And they're like $1.50 a can. These are 12 ounce, 12% in a regular can for like $1.50. And I was like, oh, these things are fantastic. They don't taste. That's a big lightning bolt. They don't taste bad. They're pretty good, but 12%, And back then, I could buy a 4-pack for $12, I think, 10 or $12. And 2 of them on an empty stomach, I'm feeling great. 4 on an empty stomach, I can't fucking, I'm why can I not say that fucking word? I just couldn't move. We'll just say that. Incapacitated. There we go. And that's what I would take on the river because it was cheap. It wasn't that much. And I just, it was 4 of them, And now they're like $3.50-ish, $3.70. I'm like, fuck, man. So everybody always got to ruin a good thing. But I had espresso martini and a Long Island. Long Island wasn't that good. Espresso martini was good. Espresso martinis are really good. I like espresso martinis. Never had a real one, but I've had the bottled ones, pre-made ones. So yeah. Will I drink again this weekend? Probably, but I'm only going to drink because I want to try to make this drink. So, we're going to try to make it. My sister Ashley had her baby, Daniel. I think she had him on the 22nd of last week. So, he's adorable. Looks like Mason. So, I think he was like 7 pounds and some ounces and 14 inches long, I think. I don't know. So, I now have a niece and nephew. Macy's my little niece in Kentucky, and then Daniel's my little nephew that lives in Kentucky also. Macy lives in Pike County. I don't know why I was acting like I didn't know where the fuck she lived. Virgie, Pike County, whatever, my brother. And then Daniel lives with my sister Ashley in Lexington, Winchester area. That's who we went to the baby shower a couple weeks ago. But yeah, it's been going great. This week's better. Like I said, it's gotten better. Randomly, I don't know why. It just happens. It's just that weird melancholy that I have where 50% of the time I'm happy and 50% of the time I'm sad. I don't know why. But going back to Michael Beasley's podcast, please do yourself service and go watch this. Go watch this man talk about his life and just his life and his story and what happened to him, what he's done. And Shannon asked him, he said something about like him having this little kid inside, and he said, well, what helped that little kid feel better? And he was like, for people just to listen and not presume I'm this person because of what you see. And he said something about, fuck, I wish I remembered it. There's a quote about, we're lucky enough to have tomorrow, something about tomorrow. I don't remember. You have to go watch it. But he had so many good points and so many one-liners, and the one thing he stresses is like, if you see me cry, just act like you don't. Because he's big on that, and he's big on emotions. And so, like, I've never really cried in front of a whole lot of people. I think I've only got choked up on here once or twice. But I fully expected me to start crying when I was watching her. Telling you this, I did cry a little bit when I was watching that. Like, that kind of got me really good. Like, really, really, like, man, like, fuck. Okay. So, and if you watch it, let me know. Tell me what you think. I really enjoyed it. It hit home. I think a lot of people need to watch it. And if you watch the Pivot episode, he talks, they're chanting and Crowder and him was like, we hang out, and he was like, I don't want to do the club. And he's like, no, man, I've got kids, you got kids, bring them over, they can bounce house, we can have a beer, we can have a cigar, and we can hang out and talk. Dads. And that's what more of us need. You need more dad friends that just relax at home. And I don't go out. I love a good time going out. My time going out now is going to the Mexican restaurant, drinking and having fun and dancing with them. And that's my going out and partying. I don't like the club. I did that for fucking 10 years. I don't like it anymore. Now I'd rather go hang out at somebody's house, get drunk, drink, have a cigar, and have fun, and go home, and then that's it. And then just be around other dads and have fun. And that's what I like. And I think that's what more people need, is to hang out with dads that you have stuff in common with. Find somebody you have in common with and hang out with them. So if you are watching this, you don't have any of that, shoot me a message. One of my patients, I talked to him about the other day, he asked me about the wharf, and I was like, I haven't been since the first time, mainly because it's like 50 minutes from my house, and it has to be a Friday. He's like, oh, that's 10 minutes from my house. And I was like, you let me know one Friday you want to go, and I'll call and let Kristen know, like, hey, I'm going to go have a cigar to drink with somebody, and I'm going to go to the wharf. And I was like, I'll meet you down there, and me and you'll just have a cab, we'll hang out. And he's been through a lot, and so I enjoy listening to people and trying to help them get through what they're going, because I know what it's like to not have anybody to listen to what's going on. So if you need that, you don't know how to do it, or you want to do it, shoot me a message. I will never judge you ever. So I'm sweating. We're going to cut this off. I love you guys. Thanks for watching this episode. I don't have a quote, sort of, but I will use Michael Beasley's. If you ever see me cry, just pretend you don't. But it's okay to cry. Remember that. It's okay to cry. Sometimes I cry in the parking lot before I go to the gym. I've cried in the gym before. Thankfully, nobody pays attention. That's why I like the gym. But I love you guys. I'll see you guys next week on another episode of Smoke Rings and Dad Things. If you want to have a cigar, let me know. Love you guys.